Shalom, family. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Give this video a like to spread the wisdom of Yah. Share this with someone you love and appreciate, and leave a hallelujah in the comment section if you enjoyed the Proverbs series. Welcome back to the Proverbs series, where we walk in wisdom and learn how to live strong in a weak world. In the last chapters, we learned the power of our words, the value of correction, and how humility leads to honor. Now in chapter 16, we're diving into one of the most important lessons of all, how to align your plans with YAHUAH's purpose. This chapter teaches us how to surrender our ambitions, walk in righteousness, and trust that the Most High is ordering our steps. Let's break it down together, verse by verse. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 1. The preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. We make plans in our heart, but the right answer, the right timing, the right path comes from YAHUAH. Plan with purpose, but submit the outcome to the Most High. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 2. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits. We think we're right, but Yah doesn't just see actions, He weighs intentions. Don't just do the right thing, do it with the right heart. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 3. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. When you give your plans to Yah, He aligns your mind with His will. Commit your hustle to heaven, and He'll guide every move. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for Himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Everything serves a purpose. Even the wicked are a part of Yah's plan for justice. Yah doesn't make mistakes, only masterpieces and messages. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. Pride may unite people, but it still brings judgment. Yah resists the proud. Pride is loud until judgment shows up. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 6. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil. It's not just fear, it's reverence and truth that transform hearts and break cycles. Truth confronts sin. Mercy cancels its power. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 7. When a man's ways please the Lord, He maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. When you walk right with Yah, even those who don't like you can't stop your peace. Favor with Yah silences the plans of men. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 8. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. It's better to have less and be clean than to gain much through corruption. Righteousness is the wealth that can't be stolen. Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. We can plan our route, but Yah is the one who orders each step. Your GPS is the word, your guide is the Most High. Proverbs 16:10. A divine sentence is in the lips of the king. His mouth transgresseth not in judgment. Leaders should speak with justice and truth because their words carry weight. A wise ruler speaks as one accountable to Yah. Proverbs 16:11. A just weight and balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are His work. Yah loves fairness, whether in business, speech, or judgment. Integrity is measured in how you handle the small things. Proverbs 16:12. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. No leadership will last without righteousness. Wickedness undermines authority. Your power is protected by your purity. Proverbs 16:13. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him that speaketh right. Truth tellers are rare and valuable. Speak right, even if it costs you. Favor follows those who speak truth, not flattery. Proverbs 16:14. The wrath of a king is as messengers of death, but a wise man will pacify it. Wisdom can calm even the angriest authority. Soft words turn away wrath. A wise word can save more than a sword ever could. Proverbs 16:15. In the light of the king's countenance is life, and his favor is as a cloud of the latter rain. When favor shines on you, it refreshes like rain after a drought. The right favor at the right time can change everything. Proverbs 16:16. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver? Wisdom is worth more than riches. It gives what money can't buy: life, purpose, and peace. Wisdom is wealth that never devalues. Proverbs 16:17. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. Stay away from evil. That's the high road, and it protects your soul. Avoiding evil isn't fear, it's wisdom. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Pride doesn't announce itself, but its fall always makes noise. Humility protects your future. Check your pride before it checks your progress. Proverbs 16:19. Better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Stay low with the humble. The proud may have wealth, but it's empty without peace. True treasure is found in humility, not in status. Proverbs 16:20. He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good, and whoso trusteth in the Lord, happy is he. Wisdom brings results. Trust in Yah brings joy that can't be shaken. Wisdom handles problems. Trust handles pressure. Proverbs 16:21. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. Wisdom isn't loud, it's effective. Gentle words open minds and hearts. Sweet words are a bridge to deep truth. Proverbs 16:22. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it, but the instruction of fools is folly. Wisdom gives life like water to a dry soul, but fools keep drinking from broken wells. Understanding refreshes, foolishness dries you out. Proverbs 16:23. The heart of the wise teacheth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. The wise speak from a trained heart, not from emotion or impulse. If your heart is wise, your mouth will follow. Proverbs 16:24. Pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. Words carry healing. Be the one who speaks life, not poison. Your words are either medicine or venom. Choose wisely. Proverbs 16:25. There is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Just because it feels right doesn't mean it is. Test everything against Yah's word. If it isn't in the word, don't follow the world. Proverbs 16:26. He that laboreth for himself, for his mouth craveth it of him. Desire drives work, but what are you working for? Survival or spiritual significance? Don't just work for your hunger, work for your purpose. Proverbs 16:27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is a burning fire. Some people stir up destruction with every word. Stay away from lips that burn bridges. Don't let your mouth be a matchstick for chaos. Proverbs 16:28. A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends. Gossip destroys what years of loyalty built. A wise person doesn't whisper, they warn. If it divides, it's not wisdom, it's wickedness. Proverbs 16:29. A violent man enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him into the way that is not good. Be careful who you follow. Even silence can be agreement with wickedness. You can't walk with the wicked and expect the righteous ending. Proverbs 16:30. He shutteth his eyes to devise froward things. Moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. Schemes start in the shadows. Don't be part of plots. Be a person of light. Yah sees closed eyes and silent lips. Nothing is hidden from him. Proverbs 16:31. The hoary head is a crown of glory, if it be found in the way of righteousness. Long life is an honor, but only when it's lived righteously. Wisdom with age is a crown. Foolishness with age is a curse. Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. Self-control is greater than strength. Victory over self is the highest conquest. Master your spirit, then you can lead others. Proverbs 16:33. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. You can cast the dice, but the outcome belongs to Yah. He rules over chance and choice. Sovereignty belongs to Yah, even in the things we think are random. That's the powerful end of Proverbs Chapter 16, a chapter that reminds us that our plans, our progress, and even our peace depend on our willingness to surrender to YAHUAH. Speak wisely, walk humbly, let your steps be directed, not by your emotions, but by His truth. Get ready for Proverbs chapter 17, where we'll learn about family, friendships, and the spiritual rewards of a quiet, righteous life. Shalom, family. Welcome back to our Proverbs series, your journey through divine wisdom for daily living. In chapter 16, we saw how true success comes through surrender, how pride leads to destruction, and how self-control is greater than strength. Now, in Proverbs chapter 17, we uncover the power of peace in the home, the danger of strife and foolishness, and how discernment can protect your soul from unnecessary battles. Let's walk through it, verse by verse. Proverbs 17:1. Better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than an house full of sacrifices with strife. Peace in a small place is better than chaos in a big house. Don't trade calm for cluttered conflict. A quiet soul is richer than a loud house. Proverbs 17:2. A wise servant shall have rule over a son that causes shame, and shall have part of the inheritance among the brethren. Wisdom outranks position. A faithful servant will be honored more than a foolish heir. Your loyalty will take you where bloodlines can't. Proverbs 17:3. The fining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but the Lord trieth the hearts. Just as fire tests metal, YAHUAH tests our hearts through trials. Fire doesn't destroy the faithful, it reveals them. Proverbs 17:4. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. Wickedness listens to wickedness. Be careful what voices you entertain. What you listen to reveals who you are becoming. Proverbs 17:5. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker, and he that is glad at calamity shall not be unpunished. Mocking others' pain insults the Creator. Compassion is the language of the righteous. If you laugh at their fall, be careful, your time is coming. Proverbs 17:6. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. Legacy matters. A wise life blesses generations forward and backward. A true legacy lives in both the roots and the fruit. Proverbs 17:7. Excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince. Fools can't fake wisdom for long, and leaders lose honor through lies. Wisdom wears well, but lies always unravel. Proverbs 17:8. A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth. A timely gift can open doors, but be careful of manipulation posing as generosity. Gifts may open doors, but only character keeps them open. Proverbs 17:9. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separateth very friends. Forgiveness builds bridges, gossip burns them down. Cover the fault, don't uncover the friendship. Proverbs 17:10. A reproof entereth more into a wise man than 100 stripes into a fool. A wise person learns from a word, while a fool won't change even with pain. Correction breaks the wise, but bounces off the foolish. Proverbs 17:11. An evil man seeketh only rebellion, therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. Rebellion invites judgment. Sooner or later, consequences catch up. The one who sows rebellion will meet justice at the door. Proverbs 17:12. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man, rather than a fool in his folly. A fool in action is more dangerous than a wild animal. Stay far away. You can survive a bear, but a fool can ruin your future. Proverbs 17:13. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. Repaying kindness with evil brings a curse that lingers. How you treat others returns to your own doorstep. Proverbs 17:14. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore, leave off contention before it be meddled with. Strife starts small, then floods everything. Stop the leak before it becomes a flood. Peacekeepers plug the cracks before conflict overflows. Proverbs 17:15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord. Calling wrong right and right wrong is disgusting to Yah. Justice matters. If your justice favors the wicked, your judgment is broken. Proverbs 17:16. Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he hath no heart to it? You can't buy wisdom. If your heart doesn't hunger for truth, no money can help you learn it. Wisdom costs desire, not dollars. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. True friends don't just show up in good times. They stand with you in storms. And real brothers are revealed when life gets hard. Loyalty isn't tested by success, it's proven in adversity. Proverbs 17:18. A man void of understanding striketh hands, and becometh surety in the presence of his friend. Be careful co-signing for people without wisdom. Love your friends, but don't lend your future to their recklessness. Protect your peace. Don't guarantee someone else's chaos. Proverbs 17:19. He loveth transgression that loveth strife, and he that exalteth his gate seeketh destruction. If you love drama, you invite destruction. Pride opens doors to unnecessary battles. Some people don't want peace, they want attention. Proverbs 17:20. He that hath a froward heart findeth no good, and he that hath a perverse tongue falleth into mischief. If your heart is crooked, your words will follow, and eventually you'll fall by your own speech. A twisted tongue leads to a tangled life. Proverbs 17:21. He that begetteth a fool doeth it to his sorrow, and the father of a fool hath no joy. Raising a child who rejects wisdom brings heartbreak. Guidance and prayer are keys to generational joy. A wise legacy is a parent's reward. Proverbs 17:22. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. Joy heals, bitterness breaks. Guard your heart, because your spirit feeds your strength. Laughter is holy. It fights what bitterness feeds. Proverbs 17:23. A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment. Bribery blinds justice. True wisdom can't be bought or bribed. If your truth has a price tag, your soul is already sold. Proverbs 17:24. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. The wise focus on truth right in front of them. Fools chase fantasies far away. Wisdom lives in the present. Foolishness lives in distraction. Proverbs 17:25. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her that bare him. The decisions of a child can bring deep pain to their parents. That's why raising them in wisdom is urgent. Teach your children now, or weep for them later. Proverbs 17:26. Also, to punish the just is not good, nor to strike princes for equity. Punishing the innocent is evil. True leadership stands on fairness and righteousness. When justice punishes the righteous, corruption has taken the throne. Proverbs 17:27. He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man of understanding is of an excellent spirit. Wisdom doesn't need to be loud. Discernment often speaks by silence. Wisdom is seen in restraint, not in volume. Proverbs 17:28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. Sometimes silence is the wisest answer. Even fools seem wise when they stay quiet. If you don't know what to say, silence speaks better than foolishness. That's the end of Proverbs chapter 17, a chapter packed with relational wisdom, the value of quiet strength, and warnings against foolishness and pride. In these last days, your peace, your words, and your discernment are your spiritual weapons. Stay tuned as we enter Proverbs chapter 18, where we'll explore the power of words, the danger of isolation, and the strength of wisdom and community. Shalom, family. Welcome back to our journey through the book of Proverbs, where we gain the tools to survive, thrive, and live wisely in the last days. In chapter 17, we learn the value of peace, the danger of pride, and the importance of keeping silent when necessary. Now in Proverbs chapter 18, we go deeper into one of the most powerful forces on earth, the tongue. We also learn how isolation can be dangerous, how humility opens doors, and how wisdom strengthens the soul. Let's walk through this chapter, verse by verse, and let the word transform our thinking. Proverbs 18:1. Through desire a man, having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom. When you truly desire wisdom, you will pull away from distractions and dig deep into truth. Isolation for growth is powerful. Separation without purpose is dangerous. Proverbs 18:2. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover itself. Fools don't want truth, they want attention. They don't seek wisdom, they seek validation. Fools talk to be heard, wise men listen to understand. Proverbs 18:3. When the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach. Wickedness always brings shame and chaos. What you allow near you affects your atmosphere. Who you walk with determines what walks in with them. Proverbs 18:4. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook. A wise person speaks life. Their words refresh like water in a desert. Let your words be rivers, not puddles. Proverbs 18:5. It is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. Justice is perverted when the wicked are favored. YAHUAH sees every corrupt decision. Favoring the wicked invites judgment from above. Proverbs 18:6. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes. Fools talk themselves into fights. Don't let your mouth write checks your spirit can't cash. Sometimes your silence is your safety. Proverbs 18:7. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. Some people don't need enemies. Their own mouth destroys them. Your words can either promote you or punish you. Proverbs 18:8. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Gossip cuts deep. What you say about others plants seeds in the souls of listeners. Gossip is poison with a pretty smile. Proverbs 18:9. He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. Laziness and wastefulness are spiritual cousins. Both destroy what Yah gives you. Wasted time is a form of self-sabotage. Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. In a world full of fear, his name is our refuge. Run to YAHUAH. He is your shelter. When the world shakes, the name of YAHUAH stands strong. Proverbs 18:11. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as a high wall in his own conceit. Money may feel like security, but it can't protect your soul. Don't trust in riches. Money can buy walls, but not peace. Proverbs 18:12. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. Pride is the warning light before a fall. Humility is always the door to honor. If you bow now, you won't break later. Proverbs 18:13. He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him. Don't rush to speak. Listen first. Premature judgment brings embarrassment. Listening is wisdom. Reacting is often regret. Proverbs 18:14. The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit who can bear? A strong spirit can handle weakness, but a broken spirit needs healing only Yah can give. Your greatest strength is not your body, but your spirit. Proverbs 18:15. The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. Wise people are always learning. Stay teachable. Truth is a lifetime pursuit. The humble heart is a magnet for wisdom. Proverbs 18:16. A man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men. Your gift will open doors, but it's your character that determines if you stay in the room. Your gift may open the door, but integrity keeps you in the palace. Proverbs 18:17. He that is first in his own cause seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. Don't believe the first voice you hear. Truth needs both sides. Discernment demands patience. Wisdom listens twice, judges once. Proverbs 18:18. The lot causeth contentions to cease, and parteth between the mighty. Sometimes even the strong must surrender control and let Yah settle the matter. When ego fails, surrender brings peace. Proverbs 18:19. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle. Wounded relationships are hard to restore. Guard your words, they can build or break trust. Offense builds walls faster than forgiveness tears them down. Proverbs 18:20. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. You eat from the words you speak. Your future is being built by your present confession. Your words are either sowing increase or inviting famine. Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Your mouth is a weapon. Use it wisely. Speak life or prepare to reap destruction. What you say today will either bless or bind your tomorrow. Proverbs 18:22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord. Marriage done righteously brings divine favor. A godly partner is a treasure, not a trap. A kingdom marriage is a portal of favor. Proverbs 18:23. The poor useth entreaties, but the rich answereth roughly. How you treat the vulnerable says more about you than your status ever will. Compassion is the currency of heaven. Proverbs 18:24. A man that hath friends must shew himself friendly, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Real friends require real effort, and sometimes Yah sends someone who becomes family through faithfulness. Loyalty turns strangers into brothers. That's the conclusion of Proverbs Chapter 18, a chapter that shows us the power of our tongue, the weight of our words, and the value of godly relationships. In a world where everyone is talking, choose to speak life. In a time when many walk alone, choose the wisdom of walking with the right people. And in every moment, run to the name of YAHUAH, your strong tower. Get ready for Proverbs chapter 19, where we'll learn about discipline, integrity, and how to manage both wealth and correction. Shalom, family. Welcome back to the Proverbs series, your guide to walking in wisdom, truth, and purpose in a chaotic world. In chapter 18, we learn that the tongue has the power of life and death, and that the people we surround ourselves with shape our spiritual future. Now, in Proverbs chapter 19, we discover how discipline protects destiny, why integrity is better than wealth, and how honoring YAHUAH opens the door to real blessing. Let's break it down verse by verse with clarity, power, and truth. Proverbs 19 verse 1. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Integrity is wealth. It's better to be broke and honest than rich and corrupt. A clean heart is more valuable than a full wallet. Proverbs 19 verse 2. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good, and he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. Rushing without understanding leads to sin. Slow down, seek knowledge, and move with purpose. Haste makes mistakes. Wisdom waits for clarity. Proverbs 19 verse 3. The foolishness of man perverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Fools ruin their lives, then blame YAHUAH. Own your choices, then change them. You can't heal what you won't take responsibility for. Proverbs 19 verse 4. Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. Money attracts people, but only trials reveal true friends. If they love your riches more than your character, they're not your people. Proverbs 19 verse 5. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. Lies may hide for a season, but truth always catches up. Deception delays judgment, but it never cancels it. Proverbs 19 verse 6. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. People love power and generosity, but don't confuse flattery for friendship. True loyalty doesn't depend on what you can give. Proverbs 19 verse 7. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursueth them with words, yet they are wanting to him. Poverty exposes shallow relationships. When you're down, only the faithful remain. Adversity reveals who's real. Proverbs 19, verse 8. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. If you truly love yourself, you'll chase wisdom because it leads to peace. Wisdom is self-care for your spirit. Proverbs 19 and 9. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. Truth stands forever. Lies crumble, and so do those who live by them. Lies have short legs and loud consequences. Proverbs 19 and 10. Delight is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. When fools rule, chaos follows. Wisdom is the true qualification for leadership. Position without wisdom leads to destruction. Proverbs 19:11. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. The wise are slow to anger. Letting things go is a sign of strength, not weakness. Maturity isn't triggered, it's tempered. Proverbs 19 and 12. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. Authority carries weight. Use it to bless, not destroy. Leadership should refresh, not devour. Proverbs 19 and 13. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. Foolishness in the home creates chaos. Wisdom must rule in both parenting and partnership. A peaceful home starts with wise hearts. Proverbs 19 and 14. House and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. A godly spouse is a divine gift, more valuable than any inheritance. A wise woman is a blessing money can't buy. Proverbs 19 and 15. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. Laziness starves destiny. Get up, grind. Your purpose is waiting. If you don't work your vision won't work. Proverbs 19 and 16. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul, but he that despiseth his ways shall die. Obeying Yah's commands is spiritual self-defense. Disobedience is self-destruction. Obedience protects your destiny. Rebellion risks your soul. Proverbs 19 and 17. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. When you bless the poor, you're lending to YAHUAH, and he always repays with interest. Compassion is a heavenly investment. Proverbs 19 and 18. Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying. Correction must come early. Love disciplines before destruction comes. Discipline today prevents regret tomorrow. Proverbs 19:19. A man of great wrath shall suffer punishment, for if thou deliver him, yet thou must do it again. If someone refuses to control their temper, they'll keep falling into the same traps. Don't keep rescuing what refuses to change. Some people need correction, not rescue. Proverbs 19:20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. The wisest people are lifelong learners. Humble ears create strong futures. Your tomorrow depends on how well you listen today. Proverbs 19:21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand. You can make plans, but only Yah's purpose will prevail. Surrender to his will. Your plans are optional. His purpose is final. Proverbs 19:22. The desire of a man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. Kindness reveals true wealth. Don't lie to appear successful. Be real and righteous. Authenticity is worth more than appearance. Proverbs 19:23. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life. and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Fearing YAHUAH brings life, satisfaction, and protection. Reverence is your shield. Fear Yah, and you'll lack nothing. Proverbs 19:24. A slothful man hideth his hand in his bosom, and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. Laziness leads to self-sabotage. Some people have potential, but no will to act. Potential without motion becomes wasted destiny. Proverbs 19:25. Smite a scorner, and the simple will beware. And reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge. Correction trains the wise, but terrifies the foolish. The humble grow, while the proud just react. Correction sharpens the teachable and exposes the stubborn. Proverbs 19:26. He that wasteth his father and chaseth away his mother is a son that causeth shame and bringeth reproach. Disrespected parents dishonors your own future. Honor is the seed for generational blessing. How you treat your parents reveals your future. Proverbs 19:27. Cease, my son, to hear the instruction that causeth to err from the words of knowledge. Not all advice is godly. Shut your ears to voices that pull you away from truth. If it costs your wisdom, it's too expensive. Proverbs 19:28. An ungodly witness scorneth judgment, and the mouth of the wicked devoureth iniquity. Wicked people laugh at justice and crave sin. Don't be entertained by what offends heaven. What you consume shapes who you become. Proverbs 19:29. Judgments are prepared for scorners, and stripes for the back of fools. Mockers may escape for a while, but justice is waiting. Fools learn the hard way. When wisdom is ignored, consequences due to teaching. That's the end of Proverbs chapter 19, a chapter that reminds us that obedience brings life, discipline brings honor, and wisdom brings lasting reward. In these last days, don't chase temporary pleasure, choose permanent purpose. Let wisdom guide your relationships, your words, and your walk. Stick with us, because Proverbs chapter 20 is coming next, and is going to reveal the hidden dangers of foolish choices and the strength of righteous character. Shalom, family. Welcome back to our Proverbs journey, where each verse becomes a stepping stone toward wisdom, strength, and spiritual clarity. In chapters 11 through 19, we uncovered deep truths about the power of words, the value of discipline, and the blessing of walking in the fear of YAHUAH. Now, in Proverbs chapter 20, we're warned against drunkenness, taught the importance of honest scales, and reminded that true wisdom is shown in action, not just in words. Let's break it down, verse by verse, and apply the word to every area of our lives. Proverbs 20, verse 1. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Alcohol may promise escape, but it delivers deception. Don't let what feels good rob your clarity. Temporary numbness can cost you permanent purpose. Proverbs 20, verse 2. The fear of a king is as the roaring of a lion. Whoso provoketh him to anger sinneth against his own soul. Don't test authority carelessly. Respecting power brings peace. Provoking it invites danger. Wisdom knows when to stand firm and when to stay silent. Proverbs 20, verse 3. It is an honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. Fools chase conflict. The wise walk away and guard their peace. Not every battle is worth your energy. Sometimes silence is strength. Proverbs 20, verse 4. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing. If you avoid hard seasons, you'll miss harvest. Lazy now, empty later. Sacrifice today creates security tomorrow. Proverbs 20, verse 5. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Wisdom is deep. Discernment draws it out. Ask the right questions and listen with depth. Understanding isn't loud, it's deep. Proverbs 20, verse 6. Most men will proclaim, everyone his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? Talk is cheap, loyalty is rare. Be someone whose character speaks louder than their claims. Faithfulness is louder than flattery. Proverbs 20, verse 7. The just man walketh in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. Your integrity today becomes your children's inheritance tomorrow. Character creates legacy. Proverbs 20, verse 8. A king that sitteth in the throne
of judgment scatters away all evil with his eyes. Righteous leaders don't tolerate wickedness. Their presence brings order. Authority rooted in justice brings divine protection. Proverbs 20, verse 9. Who can say, I have made my heart clean? I am pure from sin. We all fall short. Only YAHUAH can cleanse us fully. Stay humble and dependent on His mercy. Self-righteousness binds, repentance heals. Proverbs 20, verse 10. Diverse weights and diverse measures, both of them are alike abomination to the Lord. Dishonesty in business is sin. Yah hates deception in any form. Integrity isn't optional, it's essential. Proverbs 20, verse 11. Even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. You don't have to wait until adulthood to build a reputation. Your actions define you now. Your fruit speaks before your words do. Proverbs 20, verse 12. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, the Lord have made, even both of them. Yah creates your ears and your eyes for discernment. Use them wisely. Discernment brings with what you allow in. Proverbs 20, verse 13. Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thy eye, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. Oversleeping stars potential. Wake up. Your provision is tied to your pursuit. Your future doesn't wait for your snooze button. Proverbs 20, verse 14. It is not, say the buyer, but when he is gone his way, then he boasteth. Deception in deals may seem clever, but Yah sees through it. Cutting corners cuts character. Proverbs 20, verse 15. There is gold and a multitude of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. Wisdom is more valuable than wealth. A single wise word can change your life. Riches fade, wisdom remains. Proverbs 20, verse 16. Take his garment that is shortly for a stranger, and take a plague of him for a strange woman. Don't co-sign for someone who won't honor responsibility. Wisdom sets boundaries. Don't risk your future for someone else's foolishness. Proverbs 20, verse 17. Bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. Sin tastes good for a moment, then it turns to regret. Deception never satisfies. If the gain was dishonest, the price will be painful. Proverbs 20, verse 18. Every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. Before making major moves, get wise counsel. Success comes through strategy. Prayer and planning goes hand in hand. Proverbs 20, verse 19. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Therefore, meddling not with him that flatters with his lips. If they gossip to you, they will gossip about you. Distance yourself from smooth talkers with loose lips. If their mouths can't be trusted, neither can their loyalty. Proverbs 20, verse 20. Whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. Dishonoring your parents leads to spiritual blindness. Respect builds legacy. The way you treat your parents reveals your reverence for Yah. Proverbs 20, verse 21. An inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end thereof shall not be blessed. Fast money without discipline leads to ruin. What comes easy rarely lasts. If you didn't build it with wisdom, you won't sustain it with speed. Proverbs 20, verse 22. Say not thou, I will compense evil, but wait on the Lord, and he shall save thee. Don't take revenge. Let YAHUAH fight your battles. He defends the righteous. Letting go isn't weakness, it's trusting divine justice. Proverbs 20, verse 23. Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good. Yah hates unfairness. Be consistent, honest, and just in everything that you do. Integrity doesn't bend for convenience. Proverbs 20, verse 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own ways? You don't have to know the full path. Just follow the one who does. When you walk with YAHUAH, confusion becomes clarity. Proverbs 20, verse 25. It is a snare to the man who devours that which is holy, and after vows to make an inquiry. Don't treat holy things carelessly. Be wise and intentional with your commitments to Yah. Reverence comes before results. Proverbs 20, verse 26. A wise king scatters the wicked and bringeth the will over them. Righteous leaders expose and removes wickedness. It doesn't tolerate it. Leadership without justice is leadership without power. Proverbs 20, verse 27. The spirit of a man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly. Yah searches our hearts through the spirit he gave us. You can't fake righteousness. What's hidden from man is seen by Yah. Proverbs 20, verse 28. Mercy and truth preserve the king, and his throne is upholden by mercy. Truth and mercy are the foundation of true authority. Lead with both. Without mercy, truth crashes. Without truth, mercy deceives. Proverbs 20, verse 29. The glory of young men is their strength, and the beauty of old men is the gray head. Youth brings strength, but age brings wisdom. Both have power when submitting to Yah. Strength builds. Wisdom preserves. Proverbs 20, verse 30. The blueness of a wound cleaneth away evil. So do stripes the inward parts of the belly. Correction may hurt, but it heals. Pain has purpose when it leads to purity. Discipline doesn't destroy, it refines. Okay, family, that wraps up Proverbs chapter 20, a chapter filled with deep truth about character, justice, and the path of wisdom. If you're serious about walking in purpose, protecting your name and honoring YAHUAH is every area of life. These are verses you need to live by. Stick around because Proverbs 21, we go even deeper into what it means to live righteously in the midst of a wicked generation. Shalom, family.